And usual in here, short recap and discussion in here. So overall, C2 Xilonen give you a noticeable increase. In general, around 40 to 50k increase, except for Mualani, because Mualani burst is kinda like a little bit crazy, a little bit ballistic than other like character. It meant for nuke, that's why it's over like 100k. But in general, it's around 40 to 50k per hit, which is already pretty good though. For me, those type of increase is usually already on par with those C2 Archon, let's say like Nahida and Furina itself, something like that. Yeah, usually they give you amount of increase, something like that too. So pretty similar. Maybe a little bit worse because it's not super universal. Like not all the character will benefit from this C2 Xilonen buff. So I give you mostly like make sure to check your team compatibility with the buff itself. I'll give you an example. Let's say you want to main child. Then pretty much it will not give you any benefit from C2 Xilonen, because C2 Xilonen for Hydro it will give you HP buff, which is child scaling his attack, and that's pretty much quite not useful for child itself. But if you main let's say Mualani, then sure, because it will buff the HP, so something like that. Make sure to check your team comp and your character. For Electro effect, it's not actually increasing any damage, it's just quality of life, which is give you restore of your energy and reduce cooldown of your burst. This is before I quite underestimate, but when I try, it's indeed quite useful. It can help you to cut rotation and get spam ultimate for some character. Let's say like I saw there's a Kaching that you can even do infinity burst, which is quite ridiculous. Same with Sino, you can almost like carelessly change while he in the burst form itself. You can almost just change because you get a lot of restore of energy back, also your cooldown getting cut down, which is actually pretty good. And I can say it can open a new rotation of the playstyle itself, which is, this is just matter of time, like people will discover though. And regarding some people ask like, is it actually broken constellation? Like people say, is it worth to pull? And this is actually my recommendation or my advice. Whatever term that you want to say, broken, OP, worth to pull, insane, whatever is it, it's actually very depend on your expectation, because people will expect differently. This term can be very different. So for me, it's no broken constellation, just because it's still around the same like Archon level of constellation itself, and even it still has limitations, so a little bit worse than I can say than Archon in general. It's very good constellation, don't get me wrong, but I think like for me, if the standard of broken, it have to broke right the past record C2 character, let's say like C2 Nahida or C2 Furina, but I don't think it's even like beyond that. I think it's just almost around the same or a little bit worse even because this limitation. And for my standpoint also, that this constellation I think is worth to pull, mostly for the people that still need a higher DPS for the team itself. So I think the target audience is most likely like also like early to the middle game player that still climb up to the toward to the end game. I think it can help you to contribute, but quite a lot this one. That's why I find like it's pretty much quite worth for those type of people. However, if you're already a account that already stable, let's say like you are day one player like me, then I don't think this constellation will contribute that much. Unless you really maybe to see bigger number, of course, because it will satisfy your eye, right? Or you really like to do speedrun, then I think, yeah, this is still pretty much a good constellation for you to get. But in the end of the day, that I can say, this is actually still a very good constellation. It's just like matter of feels like, is this amount of increase, like whatever that you already see, is it actually worth or not? Like, is it meet your expectation or not? If it's meet your expectation, then sure, then I think it's maybe worth for you. And my closing thought in here that I already said actually before, that Xilonen C2 is indeed is a very good constellation. I will not deny that. Literally one of the best C2 constellation, because it's already on par with the Archon C2. And considering she's no Archon, that's quite crazy, right? They give also like almost the same value. But also that I want to give you remind, don't need to feel FOMO just because content creators say like, oh, this is broken, this is crazy, you can do this, do this. You don't need to feel so FOMO or you feel like you have to chasing it, because there's always another way for you to improve your team itself. Let's say also another thing, that if you really want that C2 badly, wait for a run, or maybe another alternative, increase your power by maybe improving your artifact, increase talent level, or from weapon, something like that, that can help you even more. So yeah, that's pretty much that's it. I hope this is can helpful, and if you like this video, feel free to hit the button and like, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.